Hello, students. Welcome to my class. I, Dr. Swati Pandya, welcomes you. My dear students, in last session we have learned about some of the major abiotic factors which are affecting population and organism. They were temperature, water, light, soil. Now today we are going to start with how the organisms they give responses to these abiotic factors which are affecting their life. Actually, the question arises in our mind that how these organisms, which are living in such habitats, different habitats, they cope up with the environment or they manage with many stressful conditions. So, the answer to this question is our today's topic. One would expect that during the course of millions of years of their existence, many species would have evolved a relatively constant internal environment that is within the body, that is known as internal environment, and that permits all the biochemical reactions and physiological functions to proceed with maximal efficiency and therefore enhance the fitness of species. So this is very important point just to make existence possible. And this constancy, for example, could be in term of optimal temperature and osmotic concentration of body fluid. So these 2 points are very important for maintenance of body temperature: optimal temperature and osmotic concentration, that is the water and fluid content of the body. Ideally, then the organism should try to maintain the constancy of its internal environment, and this is only known as homeostasis. So this is a very uh, important term just to understand homeostasis. And despite of varying external environmental condition, it tends to upset its homeostasis, so it is maintained. For example, in human beings, particular temperature is maintained constantly, though the environmental factors they change, but internal body temperature or body environment doesn't change. So this is the main importance of it. Let us discuss one of the example just to clarify the importance of this concept. Suppose a person is able to perform his or her best when the temperature is 25 degrees centigrade and it wishes to maintain it so even when it is scorching hot or freezingly cold outside. आपने देखा होगा कितनी भी गर्मी हो कितनी भी ठंड हो, it maintains its body temperature. So it could be achieved at home, in car, while traveling, and at workplace by using an air conditioner in summer or heater in winter. So there are different conditions, still the condition is maintained internally. So his or her performance would be always maximal regardless of whether around him or her the performance is changing. So here the person's homeostasis is accomplished not thoroughly through physiological but artificial means, but in natural condition the conditions they are changing. So we will discuss how the organism they cope up with the environment with different examples. First, we will discuss about regulation. So here we will uh, take some of the examples in this particular subtopic, that is regulate. So some organisms they are able to maintain homeostasis by physiological uh, means which ensures constant body temperature. Right now we have discussed, and constant osmotic concentration also. For example, all the birds and mammals they are included in this category, and a very few lower vertebrate and invertebrate species are also capable of such regulation. So here thermoregulation, that is related to temperature, and osmoregulation, which is related to water balance, that is important point. Even the evolutionary biologists they believe that Success of mammals is largely due to their ability to maintain a constant body temperature. And they thrive whether they live in Antarctica or in Sahara Desert. Both the conditions are totally opposite. Antarctica में इतनी बर्फ होगी माइनस में डिग्री में टेम्परेचर होता है और सहारा डेजर्ट में बहुत ही हॉट क्लाइमेट होता है. Still, the mammals and birds, and particularly mammals I'm talking about, they can survive in a best situation. Now, the mechanism which is used by most mammals to regulate their body temperature are similar to the one that we human also uses. We maintain a constant body temperature of 37 degrees centigrade. In summer, when outside temperature is more than our body temperature, we sweat profusely. जैसे कि हमको बहुत ही पसीना आने लगता है. The resulting evaporative cooling, similar to what happens with a desert cooler in operation, brings down the body temperature. In winter, the condition is our opposite. When the temperature is much lower than 37 degrees centigrade, we start to shiver. हम दूजने लगते हैं या कपकपी आती है. And a kind of exercise which produces heat and raises the body temperature. इसीलिए हमको ऐसा लगता है कि हमको ठंड लगती है, हम दूजते हैं. तो एक्चुअली ये बॉडी टेम्परेचर को राइज करने का तरीका है. इवन द प्लांट्स ऑन द अदर हैंड do not have such mechanism to maintain internal temperature. Now, let us discuss about another type of the category. Now they are known as conformer. Let us discuss about them. An overwhelming majority, that is the 99% of the animals and nearly all the plants, they cannot maintain a constant internal environment. Only the birds and mammals we talked. So what about the rest? Actually their body temperature changes with the temperature outside, जिसको हमने पहले भी इस टर्म से समझा है यार poikilothermic. और बर्ड्स एंड मैमल्स को हम होम्योथर्मिक भी बोलते हैं. सो हियर वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट poikilothermic organisms. So these animals and plants are simply known as conformers. ठीक है, बायोलॉजिकल टर्म इसका है conformers. Considering the benefits of constant internal environment to the organism, we must ask why these conformers had not evolved to become regulator. So regulator advanced version है as compared to conformers. So simply we can say that the thermoregulation is an energetically expensive for many organisms. This is the reason it is given. This is a particularly true for all small animals like shrews and hummingbirds. The heat loss or heat gain is a function of surface area. Since small animals have a large surface area relative to their volume, they tend to lose body heat very fast. And when it is cold outside, then they have to expend some energy to generate body heat through metabolism. So this is the main reason why very small animals are rarely found in polar regions. आपने देखा होगा बहुत giant polar bear आपने देखा ही है, तो बहुत बड़े बड़े animals इसीलिए वहाँ पे होते हैं. And during the course of evolution, the cost and benefits of maintaining a constant internal environment are taken into consideration. Some of the species have evolved the ability to regulate, but only a limited range of environmental condition, beyond which they simply conform. So conformers are also such type of animals which are coping up with the changing environment in extreme conditions. Now another category is migrate. So migrate word meaning we can tell that change of place. So the organisms can move away temporarily from the stressful habitat to a more suitable area and return when stressful conditions are over. आपने देखा होगा migratory birds, they come from the Siberia or very colder climates in India also. So in this way they migrate from one place to another for a short period of time. Whenever the conditions are again favorable, they go back. So in human analogy also, this strategy is like a person moving from Delhi to Shimla for the duration of summer. Many animals, particularly birds, during winter, they undertake long distance migration to more hospitable area. जैसे मैं आपको अभी बता रही थी, every winter, the famous Keolado National Park, situated in Bharatpur, Rajasthan, they host thousands of migratory birds coming from Siberia. जैसे मैंने आपको अभी बताया था, even if you talk about Gujarat, then flamingos they come to the region near the Kutch, that is the Nal Sarovar, and other extremely cold northern regions also. The birds they are coming. Last category, that is suspend. Here the microorganisms we will talk. In bacteria, fungi, and lower plants, various kinds of thick-walled spores they are formed, which help them to survive in unfavorable conditions. So a protective layer is formed, and these germinate on availability of suitable environment. Even in higher plants, seeds and some other vegetative reproductive structures, they serve as a means to tide over period of stress. They germinate to form new plant when favorable condition comes. Favorable condition किसको बोलेंगे? The moisture content and temperatures when they are suitable, it is known as favorable condition. So they do like this by reducing their metabolic activity and going into a state of dormancy. Dormancy is inactive state. In animals also, the organism, if unable to migrate, might avoid the stress by escaping in time. The familiar case of bear going into hibernation during winter is an example of escape in time. ठीक है, जैसे फ्रॉक का हाइबरनेशन भी आपने सुना है, डीप सॉइल के अंदर वो समर स्लीप एंड विंटर स्लीप के लिए चले जाते हैं. Some snails and fishes also they go into estivation to avoid summer. तो जब समर स्लीप के लिए जाते हैं उसके लिए हम वर्ड यूज करते हैं एस्टिवेशन, और जब विंटर स्लीप होती है तब हम वर्ड यूज करते हैं हाइबरनेशन. सो जस्ट टू कोप अप विद द environmental conditions, stressful and environmental condition, these things they are favored. So under unfavorable conditions, many zooplanktons, ये तो बहुत ही माइक्रोस्कोपिक होते हैं. So many zooplankton species in lakes and ponds, they are known to enter diapause. यहाँ पे हम hibernation और estivation word use नहीं करेंगे. Plants के लिए हम word use करते हैं diapause, which is a stage of suspended development. वहाँ पे एक pause ले लेते हैं, एक development रुक जाता है. Just similar to the hibernation and estivation found in animals. So the word is differently used here. ये आपको नोटिस करना है, इसलिए मैंने ब्लू कलर से यहाँ पे आपको शो किया है. Diapause is for zooplankton species in lakes and ponds. Okay. Now let us understand all these topics with the help of this chart. अब देखिए, this is actually diagrammatic representation of the organism which are giving the responses in different ways. आप देखो, ये इंटरनल लेवल है, इस एक्सिस पे इंटरनल लेवल दिखाया है और इस वाली एक्सिस पे एक्सटर्नल लेवल दिखाया है. तो जैसे जैसे इंक्रीज हो रहा है दोनों तरफ, रेगुलेटर्स में कोई चेंज नहीं है, देखो आप बिल्कुल सीधी लाइन है, तो उनके बॉडी टेम्परेचर में कोई चेंज नहीं होता है, दे रिमेन एज सच. तो रेगुलेटर्स को हमने प्लेन सिंपल लाइन से दिखाया है यहाँ पे. ठीक है, भले इंटरनल एनवायरनमेंट में आप चेंजेस देखो या एक्सटर्नल एनवायरनमेंट में आप चेंजेस देखो, उनका इंटरनल बॉडी टेम्परेचर या ऑस्मो रेगुलेशन मेंटेन होता है, कांस्टेंट एनवायरनमेंट मेंटेन होता है. ठीक है, फिर हम कॉन्फॉर्मर्स देखेंगे. जैसे जैसे इंटरनल और एक्सटर्नल एनवायरनमेंट बढ़ता है तो इस तरह का ग्राफ हमको मिलेगा. ओके, सो डायरेक्टली प्रोपोर्शनल हम बोल सकते हैं. एंड लास्टली, जो पार्शियल रेगुलेटर्स होते हैं वो कुछ हद तक इंक्रीज करते हैं और फिर वो स्टेबिलिटी पे आते हैं. ठीक है, तो ये तीन चीज़ें हम इस चार्ट के माध्यम से समझ सकते हैं. अपना जो टॉपिक है आज का वो हम समझ सकते हैं. So in this way, today we have completed with the responses, various responses given to the abiotic factors by various organisms, and so many examples we have discussed. Okay, so we are ending our session here, and keep learning. Take care. Bye bye, students.